True or false? If you homeschool, you love it all the time. What do you think? I think many of us get into homeschooling and we have like these great ideas and we've got our reasons why and it's all beautiful, but some days are just hard. And some days you just want to chuck it all in and just send your kids off to school and be like, I'm done with it. But those are just like sort of momentary. But what happens if you just sort of hit this patch when you're really like not loving homeschooling? What do you do? Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. I am Michaela, and it is so great to have you here today with me as we look at what happens when you don't love homeschooling. I think so many of us, we get into it and, stars in our eyes or we've just got these convictions, but along with the joys come some challenges, right? And when those challenges come and maybe we lose it, how do we react? Do we run and hide? Do we just think, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I'm a failure. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. No, you're not. Please stop. We can't let that parent guilt kick in. You are not a failure. And maybe you've hit this video thinking, oh, I want to know what happens. You know what? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who watches these videos. Thank you for your likes and your subscribes and for your comments and for being part of this learning life. Because aren't we all learning this life together? Yes, we are. And especially when it comes to parenting and especially when it comes to homeschooling. So, I truly believe it is 100% okay to not love homeschooling all the time. It's always been my heart and I do love it, but there are days when I get to the end and I am done. So I am D-O-N-E, done, keep away. And I think that we just have that. But, sometimes, that parent guilt just kicks in and we just think, I'm never going to be able to make it. Well, it's also really hard when you are deeply convicted or just have strong ideals about why you're homeschooling your children. And then, some days we don't enjoy it. Or what if you are someone who does have these convictions and just know that you should be doing it, but ultimately you don't enjoy it? You know what? That's okay too. It really is okay. You don't have to love it, but it's always extremely helpful to have joy in it, right? So let's look at that today. Let's look at some ways that we can do when we are just not loving homeschooling. 8 ways you can help yourself. Okay, so yes, 8 ways that we can be helping ourselves when we are not loving homeschool. And I really think the first one is take a break. It might just be a day. Maybe it's a coffee break, 15, 20 minutes if you're just having a day. But maybe if you've just found this, it's just creeping in and this dissatisfaction, then take a break, take a long weekend, take a week off. You know what? Your children are going to be okay with not doing it. Now, yes, of course, there are state requirements about how many days. You can make those up in so many ways. But if you are just not enjoying it and it's so much more of a burden and a chore, take a break. Change up the curriculum. Easy to do. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I just spent hundreds of dollars on this curriculum. And, but I think reason why we're not really enjoying it is none of us are enjoying this curriculum, but I spent the money and I have to do it. No, you don't. You don't. Don't let that suck. Just change it up. Sell it. Get some of your money back from it, but find something else that you enjoy. Change up that curriculum. And in that, follow your children's interests. Okay, what are they interested in? What are their learning styles? What is a way that you can change it up so that it's better for everybody, especially if maybe you're dissatisfaction and non-loving homeschooling sort of situation is because your children aren't enjoying it as well, well, then follow their interests. And I do have some videos like on that, and follow their learning styles. Check out those videos too. And in that, you could introduce or add more thematic learning. If you have seen any of my videos, you probably hear it time and time again. I love thematic learning. I really do. And I just find that is such a great thing, especially in homeschooling. So if you're just finding it again, notice that these can be little changes. And so you think, oh, well, I'm not loving this. I'm shaking up curriculum. I can add more of this where we follow interests and we all sort of get that joy and that satisfaction out of these subjects. And in that, and as I often say as well, do what works for you. Okay. Nobody can prescribe that this is how it's going to go and everybody has to follow the same thing. Do what works for you, even if it means for a semester you put your kids into the school while you just get a break and you reevaluate. Okay. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt you. Well, maybe they're having to get up early to get to school and all of that. But if that's what you need to do, then do it. I think as well, it can be great to find ways to have help at home. Okay, maybe it's a mother's helper that can come in, or someone who can come and clean. I mean, when we are doing everything, we are mum and homeschool mum and cooking mum and chauffeur mum and all of this, to have somebody to just come in every other week for a couple of hours to clean, that can be a beautiful thing. And that can help us to find that joy in homeschooling again, because we're not so burnt out on all of the other things. As well in this, please get some emotional support, okay? Find like-minded friends who are schooling like the way that you are, or people that you can just bounce thoughts and ideas off. Join some of the online communities to just get ideas, because you will find you are not in the trenches on your own, that we all have days like this. And maybe there is just somebody's got that little nugget of wisdom that is just going to help you in that moment. So do that. Get that support. You are not an island. You are not on your own in this. We're all in this together. We all have terrible days and we all have amazing days, and we all learn in this together. And then, last but not least, come back to your whys. Why are you homeschooling? Why did you take this step into this educational realm for your family? The whys. I always sort of jokingly say that I'm now up to about 7,000 reasons why I am homeschooling. Maybe not that many, but I do have core things that are just truly in my educational beliefs and my philosophy that I have, my whys. And along the side of that, for me, wanting my girls to just really have a childhood and not being stuck at a desk and having to do homework and all of these things. On those rough days, I just come back to why am I doing this? Oh, yeah. That's why. And when we can reconnect our hearts and our minds with our whys, then, maybe that little fire just starts burning again. When we forget our whys, then it's so easy to get overwhelmed. Okay, so those are ways that we can help ourselves, right? And I think that these just all work together. And it does mean taking the time to work through them. We might not see answers right away. And we might have to maybe plow through it a little bit, to get to that other side. But there will be that other side. You're not stuck in these trenches that you will never get out of. There are mountaintop experiences and there is sunshine and joy in this. And so make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take a break and then come back to your whys and do all of these other things as well. And let me finish by saying, if you are currently not loving homeschooling, it is okay. You are not a failure. Your children are going to be fine. Take a deep breath. You've got this. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that this helps. If you don't love homeschooling right now, feel free to reach out. I'm always a good ear for that, because there is no judgment. We all have this. Reach out to somebody, but I'm here, even as a stranger, to say, you know what, you've got this. And if you like these videos and you want to be part of helping to get them out there, you can do that by being a champion. And you can do that through patreon.com or through my website, learningthis.life.